Hello, ladies and gentlemen. This is Will Johnson back again with another video. Today, I'm checking out Sofia Isella. Did I say that right? Tar and feather me, but do correct me if I'm mistaken. The Doll People. This one was requested. Let's give it a try.
The doll people are not men, they are made of ice and glass. Our skin is clay and painted blue, our head can detach. We are statues with a pulse, we are art you can fuck. The doll people are quiet. What is there to say? Art does not interpret itself. There are men with a day to save. We are paintings with legs. We are art you can fuck. Drink the dolls, legs spread like buttery, your wife, whore, mistress, maid, mother, the beauty and the buyer. Take the screaming one, because a woman who doesn't want it is much harder than one that does. Wife, whore, mistress, maid, mother. Wife, whore, mistress, maid, mother. The doll people are alive, or so they say. You can never trust the art these days. To be admired takes precedence over admiring. To be desired takes importance over desiring. Drink the dolls, legs spread like buttery, your wife, whore, mistress, maid, mother, the beauty and the buyer. Take the screaming one, because a woman who doesn't want it is much harder than one that does. Paint popping off of us like rockets, stuff right out of a fantasy. The words so stuck to our pockets. The beauty and the buyer. Take the screaming one, because a woman who doesn't want it is much harder than one that The doll people are gone. They don't know what happened. They looked under her skirts one morning, but all they saw were maggots. They banged their head on the wall. They fucked the art on that afternoon. The dolls are off running and laughing together, swimming in the milk of the moon. Wife, whore, mistress, maid, mother. Wife, whore, mistress, maid, mother. Wife, whore, mistress, maid, mother.
Wow. Okay. There's this kind of art resonates with me very deeply. This is like there's two paths that seem to be most prominent for artists to take. That is one where, and this is not a criticism of artists, this is a different path to be doing something that you love, hopefully. For example, like in our current paradigm, society, culture, there's a lot of artists who are creating music with the directive from labels, and not exclusively from labels. It's just what is effective. It's to write songs with an intent to write something within that song that will go viral on TikTok. So like a 15-second clip, an 8-second clip, something that's going to go viral. And there's nothing wrong with that. That is targeting a particular broadcast point to be able to achieve maximum exposure. So it's a strategy, and I understand. But for me, at least when I'm creating something, and I'm not a successful artist, so maybe this is part of the problem, but it's important to me that when I put something out, it remains true to the organic expression that I felt or feel as though I need to solidify in time. That I honor whatever conditions are happening naturally to me, and let the creation be whatever it is without any outside influence. To the point where I was releasing some poetry that is very abrasive, and on the surface, you might look at it and it's just harsh words, like a lot of sensory words, but very superficial almost. And a lot of people didn't like it, but those that did understood. It's just important to me to maintain that artistic purity. And this type of art, in my opinion, is that. And that's not to say this couldn't go viral, but it seems like with the aesthetic of everything, the subject matter, and even the composition of the music, like, it's very avant-garde. Let's check it out. Let's go back. Like this piano right here.
The doll people are not men. They are made of ice and glass.
In isolation, this piano, everything about this song, not the concept, but I would say the delivery or the execution of its parts are very simple. That's a very simple piano piece right there. But when you pair it with the vocal,
the doll people are not men. They are made of ice.
It develops a lot more depth. It almost becomes haunting.
In glass, our skin is clay and painted blue. Our head can detach.
And the same with the vocal. If you just had that vocal, it still has a lot of character and texture to it. But when you run it against the dichotomy of the piano, it creates something like a different flavor. It's all just cooking, man. Throw in a little spice, a little bit of this. Everything you add shifts the direction of the wind.
We are statues with a pulse. We are art you can feel. The doll people are quiet. What is there to say? Art does not interpret itself. There are men with a day to save. We are paintings with legs. We are art you can feel.
Even the words here, I'll go back to poetry. Like, this to me is a poem. They're not like lyrics. They are lyrics, but to me, she's she's turned a poem into like a piece of music, or at least a poem you can listen to and experience that way. But these, like the other pieces, the piano and the other instruments that come in breaks of negative space, the words are simple, but their meanings are complex because of the nature of the metaphor. These are my favorite kinds of lyrics that are not right on the nose, but ones that carry multiple meanings and can evolve over time as you listen to it. This first, since there's so many interpretations you can do from this, like what I get from this is sort of illustrating the idea of women as like the fantasy woven by our ideas of women.
Off there, men with a day to save. We are paintings with legs. We are art you can fuck. Drink the dolls, legs spread like butter. We are wife, whore, mistress, maid, mother. The beauty and the buyer take the screaming one, because a woman who doesn't want it is much hotter than one that does. Mistress, maid, mother.
So even from here, to me, this, like as she's painted this opening here.
Quiet. What is there to say? Art does not interpret itself. There are men with a day to save. We are paintings with legs. We are art you can fuck. Drink the dolls, legs spread like butter. We are
like the expectation that all women will fill that role of fulfill the fantasy, I suppose. But even the words here, wife, whore, mistress, maid, and mother. Like you look at the word sandwiching the words in the middle, wife and mother. So you would typically honor your wife and you respect your mother, whore, mistress, maid. Also, the wife becomes a mother. Whore, mistress, maid, mother. So this serves as different roles, but also as a singular role, which then again reiterates the expectation, men's expectation of what they want from women. This one, the layers to this one is crazy.
Take the screaming one, because a woman who doesn't want it is much harder than one that does. Mistress, maid, mother.
This here, like a woman who doesn't want it is much hotter than the one that does. The beauty and the buyer take the screaming one, because a woman who doesn't want it is much hotter than one that does. Then wife, whore, mistress, maid, and mother. That's like then reducing those roles, deprioritizing them to the man's control A man doesn't really want a wife, whore, mistress, maid, or mother. A man wants control. So is this suggesting? And again, I'm not going to say this is suggesting anything. This is one interpretation, as infinite as they can be. Men only value women because they are vehicles through which to exercise control. Like, you know what I mean? The depth of this, which is so simple in its parts.
Mother. The doll people are alive.
Right there, that part's cool.
Or so they say. You can. People are alive.
This feels like a razor, like a switchblade tearing across the flesh.
So they say. You can never trust the art these days. To be admired takes precedence over admiring. To be desired takes importance over desiring. Drink.
To be desired takes importance over desiring. To be admired takes precedence over admiring. To be desired takes importance over desiring. Again, deprioritizing. Hang on. There's layers here. I'm kind of interpreting a couple things here. Talking about art earlier, women are art, which is not human. Control. To be admired takes precedence over admiring. So one meaning I get from this is that you could say the woman is deprioritized. What she wants is deprioritized to being wanted. Or it could be saying, layers here, you could interpret it as the lack of humanity in the connection, because it's also talk about sex and everything. So if this is interpreted as sex, the whole thing, this could be interpreted as saying that sex is not something that is shared, or it's not something that the woman participates in, or that there is no real human connection, just objectification.
To be desired takes importance over desiring. Drink the doll's legs spread like buttery wife, whore, mistress, maid, mother. The beauty and the buyer take the screaming one, because a woman who doesn't want it is much harder than one that does. Pain popping off of us like rockets, stepped right out of a fantasy. The words so stuck to our pockets. The beauty and the buyer take the screaming one, because a woman who doesn't want it is
This build here is
the one that does. Pain popping off of us like rockets, stepped right out of a fantasy. The words so stuck to our pockets. The beauty and the buyer take the screaming one, because a woman who
the strings in the background. They're like buried under the chaos, or actually they might be the voice of the chaos in that cornucopia of sound. I hear them back there though. And even you can interpret that as the humanity being buried under the impact of the man's desires. The woman's voice being buried. Because the other instruments are very like binary. Drums, piano, da da da. But with strings, you can really like emulate the range of a voice.
Doesn't want it is much harder than one that
Listen to that voice. It's haunting. It's like the last breaths of someone being strangled. Or you know?
the doll people are gone. They don't know what happened. They looked under her skirts one morning, but all they saw were maggots. They banged their head on the wall. They fucked the yard on that afternoon. The dolls are off running and laughing together, swimming in the milk of the moon. Wife, whore, mistress, maid, mother.
So, okay, this is... right here. Is she choking herself here? What's happening? No. She's not. Right here. So, when I first listened to this, I sort of had a different interpretation of what could be pulled from this. But now as I just like identify that sound of the voice as potentially representing death, a murder, as she says, the dull people are gone, you could interpret these following lines as they were murdered.
They don't know what happened.
They don't know what happened. You know, that is something that is said when a man kills somebody in acts of sex. That seems to be a reoccurring theme or excuse. And then if this is the interpretation, when they say they looked under our skirts one morning,
but all they saw were maggots.
That could be referring to the decay of a corpse.
They banged their head on the wall. They fucked the yard on that afternoon.
And this could be saying that they had a little detour into necrophilia, potentially. One interpretation.
The dolls are off running and laughing together, swimming in the milk of the moon.
The ghosts, I don't know, the spirits liberated, free from the terrestrial flesh.
Wife, whore, mistress, maid, mother. Wife, whore, mistress, maid, mother. Wife, whore, mistress, maid, mother.
You hear that? It's not far from the sound where I sort of felt as though it sounded like she's dying or taking her last breaths, but that almost sounds like laughter. But it could be interpreted as both. Another interpretation you could take from this. Where are these words here?
The doll people are gone. They don't know what happened.
The dull people are gone. They don't know what happened. You could interpret that the dull people, if the dull people are the people in your life, wife, mistress, wife, whore, mistress, maid, and mother, they've left a relationship. One interpretation. Or you no longer see them as people at all. Or they no longer fit the male's expectation of that role. They don't live up to it. They're gone. What happened?
They looked under her skirts one morning, but all they saw were maggots.
You could be interpreting that as a loss of attraction, disgust, because the failure to meet those expectations.
They banged their head on the wall. They fucked the yard on that afternoon.
They bang their head on the wall. They fuck the out in the afternoon. This could be a commentary on porn as like in place of human connection that often happens in relationships, right? I mean, I don't know, but I know I've known some people who their sexual connection sort of fell away, and one person was really consumed with, or at least found solace or comfort in pornography. So it could mean that.
The dolls are off running and laughing together, swimming in the milk of the moon. Wife, whore, mistress, maid. The dolls are off running and laughing together, swimming.
And this could represent like women losing interest in men altogether. As another interpretation. My gosh. I gotta tell you, man. I struggled with this one because of the like numerous interpretations you could have. But that's what makes this so good. It's simple. Everything in an isolation is simple. But the depth of everything within the relationship to the other elements makes it incredibly complex as a piece of art. I'm gonna be pondering this one for the next few days. Wow. Okay. Well, this is amazing, in my opinion. I think I will try to listen to some more. I think it's all going to fry my brain, or at least get me a little tied up in possibilities within the metaphors. Wow. Well, thank you for the recommendation. Let me know what you think in the comments. Damn. Peace.